And I told you today we have a documentary of national implications. Of course, it's Galamsey. Of course, it's Galamsey. And we've made the point, all the points that need to be made, that people engaged in this are enemies of the state. They are our enemies. They're poisoning our water bodies, a crime that no court in the world will forgive. Even the Russians dare not do this to the Ukrainians, but we are allowing people to do that to us, our own water bodies here, making them unusable for anything, especially not for drinking. Erastus Asare Donkor has gone deep into the bush. He has found the water sources that are being polluted, and he has done this documentary that explains the full extent of the damage. Let's learn a bit more. He's here with us. Erastus, it's good to have you.
Good to be here.
And as always, your work has got you making the rounds of all of our platforms to explain this horrifying thing that you have found. Let's start from there. And before we hear your documentary, let's start from there. First of all, what did you find?
Well, so in a summary, I wanted to not just speak about my findings, myself and my team, my camera technician Kofi Asare, the driver Amos. We went round. We wanted to get evidence of the destruction, and then, if possible, bring samples. So in the studios today, I have displayed samples of the various rivers and streams that we visited. And if you're watching it on Facebook, you can see what we have in front of us. And these are the levels of pollution, and these are the state of our rivers as we speak.
Well, I mean, Erastus, I'm just looking at it, but I just want to understand something. You decided to go around. You decided to find out the state of, pollution as a result of Galamsey.
Yes.
I know you've been doing a lot of stories about Galamsey, but what really triggered the decision to put this documentary together?
So I'm very concerned about the environment myself. And when I see the environment being destroyed in such a manner, I see a future problem for all of us. This is where we live. We don't have any intentions of migrating and staying there. Even if you go to America and stay there, you still come back.
Sure.
So if we are faced with this, then it becomes a problem for everybody. But unfortunately, we are not seeing it that way. So when Fifi Kumsin asked me that, can we do a total recall? Governments upon governments have gone into interventions, various interventions, Operation Halt, Operation Vanguard, Galam Stop, and others. But can we independently verify how these interventions are working? What's the impact so far? What is the situation on the ground? And I think that is what was lacking. So we set out on this perilous journey to try to get to the bottom of it, get to the nooks and crannies of Ghana, get to the various river sources. So we hired a drone and we moved around. We filmed every bit of it. Unfortunately, Ghana is a very big, huge land pit, so we couldn't go to every water source. But at least we've gone to River Ankobra, the Tano River at Samre Boy. We've traced the Bia River along the tributaries right from Sehu Jaboso, Techiman, right through to Sehu Jaboso, the forest there. So we've been able to gauge the tributaries, some of them, the Afuafu streams, the Amoah streams. We've gone to a lot of places to gauge the forest itself, to the Apamprama Forest Reserve, to the Tano Nimre Forest Reserve. And in fact, when the issue came up that the Tano Nimre Forest Reserve, the minister said, well, we have not granted any permit for any prospecting in that forest. I was a bit amazed because then our findings on the ground showed differently. Because when we went there, we saw that already about 12 football fields of the forest has already been depleted. not for prospecting purpose. When you are prospecting, you're supposed to drill a particular certain areas, get samples. You are not allowed to use heavy equipment. But then they've destroyed the forest, cut valuable trees down, and they've dug pits upon pits in that part of the forest. And so we needed to really get evidence, bring it out for the public to see that this is how the future of your children and your children's children is being pillaged at the moment. And it should be a concern to all of us.
And how long did it take you to do all of this?
About 4 months.
4 months.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's find out the results of 4 months of diligent work. This is it. Destruction for gold.
Mining can create jobs. Mining can improve livelihoods. And mining can generate wealth. But it cannot and must not do so at the expense of damaging the very environment that produces the riches.
Nobody provides a license for you to mine in a water body. It doesn't happen in Ghana.
When I see these things, I ask myself, who are behind this? I can't buy excavator, but the ministers and the MPs, you can do that. So we are saying, Amoah.
I am prepared to put my presidency on the line on this matter.
You send soldiers after the young people. That is not the way to go.
Galamsey them have you Hanichum Yasa. A mobile 30% in Woma Galamsey. So, Nanabi out to be our child as you are the Galamsey. You was off who brown for the fireball.
Destruction for gold.
The U.S. Geological Survey gold statistics for 2022 pegs the world's global gold reserves at 54,000 tons. Ghana's reserves, estimated at 1,000 tons, has been the country's good and bad omen in the past 15 years. The large-scale exploitation of Ghana's gold has been fairly controlled. But the small-scale or artisanal mining sector has been the country's environmental headache. Highly unregulated, it is home to greed, politics, power play, and a policy dilemma. Artisanal and small-scale has a long history in Ghana, but it was only in 1989 that government recognized its legitimacy through the Small Scale Mining Act, PNDC Law 218, which was later integrated into the current Mining Act 703 in 2006. The act provided a blueprint for its formalization, reserving small-scale mining for Ghanaians. Like a farmer with arable land but no plow, the country started witnessing the invasion of Chinese into the sector, largely aided by Ghanaians. With the introduction of heavy earth-moving equipment and water-polluting gold mining technologies, the country's forests and water bodies came under attack. Regime after regime saw the pillaging of forests and the pollution of water bodies. Large tracts of forest cover, like this one in the western region, were reduced to wasteland. Contrary to mining practices and regulations, miners hid behind prospecting licenses to destroy large portions of forest reserves, like the Amponsah in the Ashanti region. Between 2006 and 2016, the devastation from illegal mining had taken astronomical levels across the country with extreme environmental consequences.
Our usual footpath to school and out of our homes has now been turned into pits. I've been injured today trying to find my way home. They have to drive the Galamsey people away.
In 2013, President John Dramani Mahama inaugurated a 5-member task force to fight illegal small-scale mining across the country. The problem persisted, leading to a government ban by the Akufo-Addo administration on all artisanal small-scale mining activities across the country between March 29, 2017 and April 22, 2017. This was followed by a 6-month ban on legal small-scale mining.
I've said it in the cabinet, and perhaps it's the first time I'll be saying it in public. I am prepared to put my presidency on the line on this matter.
A military and police task force codenamed Operation Vanguard was formed mid-2017 to enforce the ban and eliminate illegal mining. Later, an interministerial task force called Galamsey was roped in to assist and remove seized excavators from the field. But even in the midst of the ban, miners like this one were actively mining in areas like the Kobro section of the Amponsah Forest Reserve. In the Tabosere Forest Enclave in the western region, miners pillaged the forest, claiming that they received concessions from the Minerals Commission.
This site was allocated to me by the Minerals Commission. They made allocations at a small-scale level. For miners like us, they don't give any certification.
Though the task force made a lot of gains, a number of excavators transported to Accra by the interministerial task force under Professor Frimpong Boateng could not be traced. This medical doctor who purchased and hired excavators for hiring lost a number of them.
They were seized by the interministerial task force. So I came to Accra to find out if the machines were really here. So when I came upon my search, I found out that 2 were at industrial area. So I went back to prepare myself and come for them, follow the procedure and come for them. So when I got back, I decided to check on them again. I found out that one of them was not around, was missing.
Perhaps the account of this low-loader truck driver hired to move some of the excavators gives an inkling of what happened to the missing excavators. I had already asked the Alhaji who sent me, and he had confirmed that it was one of the Galamsey machines that were being sold, and he was asked to transport it. So from Konongo to Bumfa Junction is a short distance, so I decided to help a friend in need. When I reached Bumfa Junction, he had told me a group of boys will receive the machine. Truly, I met them and they received the machine. Soon as they took the machine, a Land Cruiser vehicle came to the scene and took the money. How much did they sell the machine?
I see 50,000.
He said 50,000. But even with that money, I was told by the Alhaji who sent me that I would take the money. But when I got to the scene, the Land Cruiser people said they are the ones to take the money. So the occupants of the Land Cruiser took the money in front of me.
When the first time I work off a machine, Galamsey for machine CZ.
Have you yourself picked any of the machines seized by Galamsey from Accra before? Yes. Myself, I have picked 3 from Accra before. I picked 1 with my vehicle, and 2 of my friends picked the other 2. They transported the ones they picked to Pristia, and I sent mine to Amangwase. The one I picked from the Alhaji was the 3rd one, which I sent to Bumfa Junction. Operation Vanguard made a lot of gains, but was embroiled in allegations of bribery and selective application of its operations. Ghana's military was cited for the protection of miners in forest areas.
We are here at this thing. They hold duties, and there are some policemen and media be here.
In January 2021, over 30 fully armed military personnel were found protecting miners in the Odahun forest.
So these are military accoutrements. You can find names on them. This one is Camel. As security men have been able to authenticate, these are quality Ghana Army uniforms, indicating that we may have some military involvement here in this site.
Sometimes we don't do things like that.
Our team was molested after filming their activities there. Though the military hierarchy said it was investigating, it is yet to announce the results of its investigations.
I'm telling you, we have patience for that time.
In May 2021, at the peak of the problem, the Akufo-Addo government organized a national consultative dialogue on small-scale mining.
Mining can create jobs, mining can improve livelihoods, and mining can generate wealth. But it cannot and must not do so at the expense of damaging the very environment that produces the riches. We have had beautiful and majestic rivers and streams. Today, there's not much to celebrate about the pra or the brim, and there's not much to be excited about over our famed thick forests and the animals that inhabit them. I am determined to enforce the laws on illegal mining, no matter the subject, high or low.
This led to, among other things, an order banning prospecting activities in forest reserves across the country. The Minerals Commission was also directed to desist from processing or granting any request for the renewal of prospecting licenses in forest reserves. In April 2021, President Akufo-Addo deployed 200 military personnel to protect the country's water bodies and forest resources. The first phase of the operation commenced on Wednesday, April 28, 2021, on the Pra River in the central region.
We've gotten some finds. We're moving through a lot of difficult terrain. It's a simple mission, and we're expecting to achieve the desired aim and send the right signal to those faceless people trying to cause havoc to our very existence.
The operation in its fourth phase has seen the controversial banning of a number of excavators and other equipment seized from illegal miners and the arrest of a number of miners. The banning of excavators has received mixed reactions.
We are the ones who campaign for you. You gave us this work. If you do this to anybody, it shouldn't be your National Women's Organizer. Do you have to burn a bulldozer? Look at the filling we are doing over here. It is a dozer we are using to do that job. Do you have to burn the dozer? 8 excavators. You've burnt them all. Why? Why do we have to suffer like this in this country?
Go to Moso. People's machines were bent. Akwaboso, a machine was bent. In Etiwa, for what I've gathered so far, about 16 machines had been bent. My whole beef in this matter is the minister should calm down. He should do broader consultation with the people.
If you put a blanket ban and then you send soldiers after the young people, that is not the way to go. As you stop illegal small-scale mining, at the same time you must put in place a livelihood package so that as you are displacing people from illegal mining, they have something else to do.
The president's pronouncement on excavators and burning of excavators in his staff, in the president's staff. We would want to summon the Attorney General to this house in accord with Article 88 of the Constitution as the principal advisor to government, why the president should not be held in check for being in breach of the laws of Ghana and the Constitution of Ghana, save that some evidence, material, must be provided that burning excavators is sanctioned by the laws of Ghana, and I wait to see that law.
In 2017, government spent $3 million on drones to fight illegal mining.
Every district committee where mining is taking place will have drone pilots. We've bought the drones, they are ready to be used. We have also acquired 16 for the Regional Coordinating Council. That will be under the direct control of the regional minister. And the headquarters will have 10 drones. Operation Vanguard will have access to 18 drones and 15 drones for the Minerals Commission. The drone pilots are ready, the drones are there.
But the difficult question remains, what is the situation on the ground despite these interventions?
It looks like there is no end to this illegal mining craze. Now, deep within the Tabosre Forest Enclave, you could see over 10 excavators within this forest, destroying it with impunity. So far, nobody has been able to show us any legal documents binding their operations here. But already, the forest is getting depleted.
In 2017, the Ghana Water Resources Commission stated that about 60% of the country's water bodies were polluted. The acceptable turbidity value for drinking water is 5 nephelometric turbidity unit (NTU), while values of 80 to 150 NTU are acceptable for other water users as appropriate. The Water Resources Commission captured the turbidity levels of major rivers in mining areas as being between 504 and 3,880 nephelometric turbidity units (NTU) at the end of February 2022, 3,875 times higher than the acceptable value for drinking water. We set out on a fact-finding mission to key communities along Ghana's major rivers and streams and forest cover to assess the situation. Known locally as Tanwe, the Tano River flows 400 kilometers from Techiman in the Bono East region. The once clean fish-laden water source has now turned milky brown with little sign of life. We took a trip to Samreboy in the western region of Ghana to investigate the source of its pollution.
This bridge links Samreboy behind me and Inchi ahead of me. Now, this same bridge covers the river Tano in the western region. Now, this is the Tano River. Milky, dirty. It looks like there is no life in it at all. Who is destroying the river Tano?
Michael Inyebribi Tanoe was named after this river. He has been fishing here for about 40 years now.
I've been fishing about 40 years. I used to start from 6 o'clock in the evening to early in the morning, night time. I'll keep on fishing, and then during the day I have to sell the fish throughout the month so that I use that money to pay my school fees. Before, the river was just clean, and even when you are using your canoe, you can see the fish moving around. And sometimes we use bottle and put gari inside, put it inside the river, stand outside, and you can see the fish going around it. And then when any of them enter, quickly you rush and take the fish out.
After hours of fishing today, he only caught few fishes.
This morning, the fish that I got are this. Before, the same amount of net I'm using, I can get a fish almost a basket full, very short and nice. But nowadays, the fish has become long, and the the fin have been changed as if they have designed it.
Recent events, he says, have changed the course of the river and the life in it.
Because it's very, very dirty. And the river meandering to the nature one has been changed. Now the river boundaries are widened.
A bird's eye view of the river revealed possible culprits in the pollution of this national resource. This mining site, captured by our drone, belongs to Akonta Mining Limited, owned by Bernard and Chubosiako, popularly known as Chairman Untumi, the current Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP. Two of their mining operation sites sitting at the edges of the river, with some of their mining leaks and residues feeding directly into the Tano River. The footage of mining along the Tano River from a layman's view shows a clear violation of government's buffer zone policy, which demands the demarcation of a 50-meter buffer zone away from a water body like the Tano. Existing buffer zone bylaws and specifications spelled out by the Forestry Services Division indicates no logging within 50 meters of major streams and 25 meters along smaller streams. That of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources states that a minimum of 100 meters off watermark should be declared as protected areas. But none of the mining sites discovered by our team along the Tano River respect these laws. Some indigents of Samreboy told Love News many of these sites belong to Chairman Wuntumi's Akonta Mining Limited. But officials of the company will not speak to our news team about the effects of the operations on the environment visible from above. Two security men wielding pump-action guns approached our team, and after establishing our identity and registering their protest over our drone activities, they left.
If you are mining a water body, you are undertaking an illegal activity.
The Minerals Commission describes such mining activities polluting water bodies or destroying forests as an illegality. Barbara Otinjesi is board chair.
Nobody provides a license for you to mine in a water body. It doesn't happen in Ghana. So if you are mining in the water body, it's illegal. That is why now with Operation Halt, we are concentrating on the water bodies and our forests, because we don't give people licenses to mine in our water bodies and our forests unless the Forestry Commission has undertaken certain investigations and has given the approval for the person to go and mine in the forest area.
But we soon realized that the environmental effects of Akonta Mining's operations was to be the least of our concerns. We followed the Tano River to 4 key pollution points. Here, mining was being done directly on the riverbed, with mining residue leading in and out of the Tano River. Deep within the forest, we get to Atala, a small community close to the river. Here, the blueprints of irresponsible mining are visible. The source of the pollution is seen in the huge excavation and redirection of the river. There are clear signs of attempts to use the river as a washing base for mining.
See how the river is being polluted.
The assembly member for the Mumuni electoral area, Erastus Asare Samuel, was our guide.
We the people around here, mostly Atara, is worrying us the most. And recently, because there was an operation, these Chinese people evacuate all their machines and then leave here. Meanwhile, the government said these Galamsey issues and all those things is stopping them. But some remote areas like this, they used to come and hide here. Before you see that these Chinese people are here, they have destroyed the whole place.
At Ohiampenika village, we discover the 3rd pollution point of the Tano River. We go through this makeshift mining village just 200 meters to the banks of the river. what we find is a huge devastation of forest cover, destruction to the water sources joining the tunnel, and a large mining compound sitting in the water source. Huge pits left in a hurry with pumping and washing equipment leading out of them. Mining residues leading directly into the Tano River.
This is the Tano River, and I don't need to tell you. The pictures will give you a description of dirty, muddy river. A river that once used to be very clear and full of fishes. Now you can see the expanse, the pits, the degradation done by the illegal miners here. Now this ecosystem has been disturbed so much.
The result, a highly polluted river. The sound of our vehicle set the miners running.
You can hear them in the distance shouting and running. You can see their machines, their equipment over there. You see the pits they've dug here. And so you can see the pollution here. And they are sitting directly inside the river.
Special advisor to the Lands Minister, Ben Ai, describes scenes like these as irresponsible mining.
Illegal, irresponsible mining. That's what it is. Nothing more than that. Any mining, like he showed, is simply irresponsible and not supported by any law.
The pollution of the River Tano comes from different areas along the water terrain, mainly stemming from irresponsible mining. The illegal activities on the Tano River, we learned, is not happening on the blind side of authorities. We were told that a military contingent was sent to the area 2 weeks before our team visited the area. But the miners were given the opportunity to salvage their equipment.
We need to stop illegal mining. Galamsey, stop illegal mining. Galamsey, we need to stop illegal mining.
Coffee in your cup. Enjoy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best. Enjoy 99.7 FM. Coffee in your cup.
To start it all off, I would try to explain. Yeah, one small skill, and yeah, one large skill. Illegal mining, only you Galamsey. But if you ask me, they all in the same. Guilty polluters of Ghana's water bodies.
Isn't it just heartbreaking? Okay, we clearly have a conversation to have. We're going to be talking to two guests to begin with. Professor Kwesi is the Claud visiting chair at Uppsala University and the Nordic Africa Institute in Sweden. Prof, good morning to you.
Yes, a very good morning to you.
And Ben Amponsah is a former executive secretary of the Water Resources Commission. Good morning, Ben.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right. More from our guests in a short while, as well as Erastus. But to increase the presence and interest of women within the growing agri-MSME space, young tertiary women within the northern belt of Ghana have been empowered by Cosmos Innovation Center and MasterCard Foundation in an intensive KIC Women's Boot Camp. The 3-day Women's Boot Camp provided training from resource persons thriving within the agri-MSME sector and encouraged knowledge sharing and socialization among the participants. This training program had the goal of building the capacity of the participants through entrepreneurial training and investor readiness tasks. At the end of the training program, participants are expected to be well equipped to put their ideas to work and scale up their businesses and proposals to attract investors. Ultimately, this will lead to creating of jobs reducing the unemployment rate in the country. The Women's Boot Camp in Tamale, representing the northern sector, is the final one to be organized by KIC and the MasterCard Foundation for this year. This follows a successful training of over 200 other aspiring young women entrepreneurs within the agri-SME sector in the Southern Belt, Accra, and the Middle Belt, Kumasi.
And the Ministry of Education, through the National Teaching Council, presents the Ghana Teacher Prize 2022 under the theme "The Transformation of Education Begins with Teachers." Guest of Honor, President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The most outstanding teacher goes home with a 3-bedroom apartment, and the first runner-up gets a 4x4 pickup. Second runner-up gets a saloon vehicle, and the best teacher in leadership and administration also gets a saloon vehicle, and the best non-teaching staff also gets a saloon vehicle. Activities include a 2-day symposium beginning today, the 3rd of October, to tomorrow, the 4th of October, at the Modern City Hotel Tamale at 9 a.m. and a Grand Debate on Wednesday, the 5th of October 2022 at exactly 9 a.m., which will be live at the University of Development Studies Multipurpose Hall in Tamale. Media partners, the Multimedia Group, and the event will be telecast on the 5th of October on Joy News between 9:30 a.m. to 12 noon.
Okay then, the CIMA Finance Leadership Program is a competency-based digital learning experience and your pathway to the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants professional qualification. Why don't you go to enroll.cgma.org to determine your exemptions. Special discounts for UG, UCC, KNUST and affiliated universities. Call or send a WhatsApp to 0268 128 789 or 0268 128 78, or same number. Or send an email to accra@aicpa-cima.com. CIMA, be the future of finance.
Well, now it is your time to enjoy the Royal Foam mattress at an affordable rate. Now, things are really hard and the prices of goods and services are on the rise every day. And that's why Royal Foam is bringing to you a media sales promotion dubbed Wunsu Wumreni. It is your time to enjoy a 10% discount on the current prices of our mattresses. Yes, 10% discount with free pillows in addition. So rush to all Royal Foam shops and get a 10% discount on every mattress purchased, as well as enjoy our free pillows. Call us on 0202 271,000. 0202 271,000 for more information. Royal Foam, rest assured.
Okay, and rest assured, we're going to be answering the big questions today. Why do we allow enemies of the state, traitors, saboteurs, eco-terrorists to walk amongst us freely? And what is it going to take to finally end this Galamsey menace? Prof. Inning, Ben, and Erastus will help us get to the bottom of these important questions after these messages.
Hey, welcome back to work.
Charlie, thanks, bro.
The malaria really knocked you down, eh?
Charlie, no joke. Hey. Fever, headache, vomiting, loss of appetite. I couldn't even eat my usual fufu.
You and fufu?
How we go do it?
I hope you got tested before the malaria treatment.
Oh, yes, I did. And thanks to Malatu, I kicked out malaria one time.
Sharp. Anyway, sorry to ruin your excitement, but your boss asked of you.
Okay.
She says she has plenty work for you.
No problem, Charlie. Strength day.
You see,
When malaria strikes, take Malatu, containing Artemether and Lumefantrine. Comes in tablet and suspension for the effective treatment of malaria in adults and children. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Malatu is manufactured and distributed by Ernest Chemists Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Fortune rice. It needs just a little water. The greenstone stick and the aroma and taste are delicious. Fortune rice, always on point, just like mom.
Now introducing Fortune Emuka, your tasty Ghana rice for all your rice meals.
This advert is FDA approved.
Just like mom.
Ayabi.
If I say EGL Bazaar, say it be Bazaar. Electroland Ghana Limited is running a tech sale all you can grab bazaar. Items are a mixture of brand new, slightly used, scratched, showroom display, repaired and dented. Get up to 80% off. EGL Bazaar runs from Friday to Sunday. That is 7th, 8th and 9th October from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. Location, Coca-Cola Roundabout, Spintex. Satisfy your tech hunger with products from Nasco, Samsung, Media, Toshiba and more. Samsung television at 1,199 Ghana Cedi. Grab a Nasco top load washing machine 6 kg, 1,299 Ghana Cedi. Media toaster 399 Ghana Cedi. Grab for yourself smartphones, accessories, candle lights, washing machines, fridges, ovens, gas stoves, vacuum cleaner, dispenser. Quickly jot down the numbers. Call 0242 439 437.
EGL, home of electronics and appliances.
Good morning. Wake up to the original magazine show. The Super Morning Show.
All right, Destruction for Gold, the Hotline documentary put together by Erastus Asare Donkor of Luv FM is what we have just listened to. Well, part one of it anyway. There are 2 more parts to come, and we have questions that we need to answer. All right, why do we allow these saboteurs, these criminals, these, in some cases, these foreign antagonists, these traitors to walk free among us? And what will it finally take to end this menace? Professor Kwesi, Amponsah, and Erastus Asare Donkor are our guests. You hear from them next. Before that, have you registered your Surfline numbers yet? In line with the National Communications Authority's directive to get all SIM cards re-registered, Surfline has demarcated special registration points close to your community to help you register your MiFis and routers. You can also visit any Surfline shop near you to register with your Ghana card. Remember, no registration, no service. Register your Surfline numbers today to avoid disconnection. Surfline, better together.
And Oktoberfest is here again. Ghana's premier 5-star hotel, Labadi Beach Hotel, brings you another exciting edition of the biggest beer festival in the world, Oktoberfest 2022. And performing live as the Bayern Boys Band from Germany. Catch all the fun with German traditional food and beer at the plush Labadi Beach Hotel from 7th to 9th October 2022. For inquiries and reservations, please call 0302 772501 or 0544 431213. Come and let's party.
All right, Professor Kwesi is Claud Ake Visiting Chair, Uppsala University, and the Nordic Africa Institute in Sweden. Amponsah is a former Executive Secretary of the Water Resources Commission. Thank you both for your patience. We all heard the content of that first part of Destruction for Gold. Some things are obvious and clear. I mean, they are beyond debate. People were seen by the authorities, the law enforcement authorities, committing these crimes. Owners of the companies that are breaking the law are known. Chairman Wuntumi is known. He's known. His company is identified. But no arrests. Is this final evidence that the government of Ghana is incapable of protecting the people of Ghana from those polluting our water bodies with Galamsey? Prof. Ini.
Well, thank you very much. I think we've had this conversation a couple of times, and we seem to be going around in circles. So probably we need to ask ourselves some new questions, to throw light on what is happening. I think you ask something that I find very important. Is the state capable? I think probably we need to ask a subsidiary question. Has the state been captured? Is there a deep state located within the Ghanaian state? And I like some of the phraseologies that you used much earlier on, criminals, eco-terrorists, and you asked the question, what will it take to end this? And I think what it will take to begin the process of dismantling this is to accept
that there is a state within the state of networks of criminalized groups and individuals cutting across several public and private sectors, driven by one interest: money. And what they will do and how they will do it to get this money is not their concern at all. So when I talk about the deep state, or the state within the state, because as you correctly said, we know the companies, we know their leadership or ownership structure, but we are not able to do anything, or we are unwilling or incapable of doing anything. So what is this deep state that I am talking about? And what are the components, possible components of this state? When we talk about a deep state or a state within a state, we are talking about groups of individuals, sometimes performing openly, but more often than not clandestinely, and using a narrative that seeks to cover their criminal engagements and how they collude and connive amongst themselves and with external interests to undermine the authority of the state. These groups of individuals located within the deep state are determined to defend the Galamsey trade and also the redwood trade through fair and foul means. Foul means through corruption, intimidation, the use of guns, atrocities against individual liberties, properties, and lives. Fair means through collusion and connivance in which statutory institutions are unable and unwilling to work. The component of this membership comes from chiefs, politicians, the military, police, intelligence, business, ordinary people who are just cannon fodder, but also criminal enterprises that allows the profits, either in terms of money, in terms of the precious mineral itself, to be taken out of Ghana. And I think here, the most disturbing aspect of this deep state and the criminalized enterprises that support the deep state relates to how, were we to go back 10 years and ask PMMC how much gold we account for in a year, and we correlate that to the sheer destruction of our environment, then we need to ask ourselves, if we've destroyed our environment to this extent, what have we got for it? Where are the minerals that the state of Ghana has accounted for, or these people have accounted to the state of Ghana? And therein lies the lacunae between the flowery rhetoric of representatives of the state of Ghana and their unwillingness. And it's not about capacity. This is deliberate unwillingness to respond to this challenge. So we initiate interministerial groups, we initiate multiple joint campaigns or individual campaigns by statutory security forces, and they don't go anywhere. And they will not go anywhere until we are bold enough to strip bare the individuals and the groups involved. But you would notice also, and here we need to move beyond this Chinese lady who has been arrested. But if you listen to the discourses from her lawyer, oh, but this is just a small case that we are extrapolating. Oh, but she's married to a Ghanaian. This is not what the state is interested in. When you commit a crime, whether it's a small crime or a big crime, it is still a crime. And I think we have argued that this particular type of crime, environmental crimes that threatens the survival of the state and generations yet unborn. And it is not just about environmental threats. We are now seeing Japan and the EU pondering over whether the residues found in Ghana's cocoa are dangerous enough to their citizens, and therefore they need to either ban or reduce, the cocoa purchases from Ghana. Now, if groups and individuals threaten the state's capacity to provide healthcare, education, roads, security, electricity, jobs, then the activities of these groups and individuals are posing an existential threat to the Republic of Ghana and its people. And therefore, we need to elevate this, not just to an ordinary crime, but to a treasonable crime. Because what they are doing is affecting the lives, first, of those of us who are alive and impoverishing us, but also threatening the lives of those yet unborn. Because the chemicals are coming through the food chain, our cassava, our yam, our cocoyam, our plantain, and it's destroying our water bodies. I think it is time for us to call a spade a spade. Let's launch a campaign that strips bare these criminal networks. Let's challenge the Inspector General of Police to use his law enforcement agency to get the job done. Let's challenge the Chief Justice and his men and women to use the law to protect the state. Otherwise, there is something dangerously missing. I think we've spoken more than enough. This is the time for action.
All right. Thank you for that, Prof. Let's bring in Ben Amponsah. He's the Executive Secretary of the Water Resources Commission. This is the overall body responsible for water resources management in Ghana. Okay, their establishing act says that they are to ownership and control of all water resources are vested in the president on behalf of the people, and the Water Resources Commission is the overall body responsible for water resource management in Ghana. Ben, we're going to talk about the water resources in Ghana, but first, I want us to highlight a danger that you pointed out not so long ago. The pollution of Ghana's water bodies through Galamsey is now resulting in the pollution of our neighbors' water bodies as well. So our rivers and streams are flowing into the rivers and streams of countries like Côte d'Ivoire. And even though they are not the ones carrying out the illegal mining, they are also suffering the consequences of this. Tell us to what extent this is happening and how dangerous it is.
Thank you very much. And before I continue, let me just indicate, as you rightly said at the beginning, in terms of my introduction, that I'm the former executive secretary.
Thank you.
So
thank you for that.
Let's be mindful of that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, it's true what you did indicate. In fact, in 2017, it was quite clear that our activities with respect to illegal mining was seriously impacting on our neighbors, especially Côte d'Ivoire, because we share the beer and the tunnel with them. The data and information that they brought up clearly showed that it was in sync with what we had at the part in this part of our country. So there was without any doubt that we were the major causes. Now the effect currently is that gradually we also polluting their water sources which are basically for drinking, for most of their municipalities that rely especially on the beer. So just as the effect respect to our part of the country in terms of treating water for drinking purposes is the same as is being experienced in that part of the Côte d'Ivoire. So that is the extent to which we are actually impacting on them. And we need, obviously, to be careful with respect to the activities that we are doing upstream in Ghana.
Now, for those of you listening, this is one of the moments when I'm so glad for technology. You can go to our Facebook page, go and watch Facebook Live. You will see right in front of us on a table 9 samples of water from 9 water bodies that Erastus has collected. Okay, look at the varying colors of the water that he's collected, from sort of the shade of lemonade all the way to the shade of hot chocolate. Okay, different samples of water. Now, the Tano and Bia River have both been sampled right here. So you can see the quality of water that we are now streaming into our neighboring countries and the security implications of it. Now, Ben, I want us to talk about the management of our water bodies here in Ghana.
Yes, but Ben, before we get to the management, I just want you to tell me, so you've talked about the pollution. What are the levels of pollution within these rivers that you have identified based on your research?
Yes, I think during the documentary that we were airing, Erastus focused on turbidity, and indeed, turbidity is considered as a good measure in terms of the quality of water. So that's what we use to measure in terms of the degree to which the water loses its transparency, in terms of presence of suspended particles. So we use the turbidity level. So I'll focus more on the turbidity.
Sure.
And of course, he also did mention that we do have ranges of values as a measure. Now, for drinking water purposes, it should be less than 5. That's what it is, NTU. Now, if you have between 80 to 150 NTU values, they are acceptable for other water uses as appropriate. Now, if you look at the beer, okay, in February 2021, it was as high as 2,390. Yes. And in February this year, it was 504. Okay, 504. I do not have the value now. But of course, even if you take 504, it's still way, higher or very high.
Okay.
And if you really want to treat, of course, a lot of things goes into the treatment in terms of course, the chemicals that you put in. So that is what it is. Now, let me take the tunnel, and we measure the tunnel at Lubu, which is even downstream. In February 2021, it was 503. And in February 2022, it has moved to 850. I hope you got a value, 850.
Yes, 850.
That's right.
Now,
so,
yes, please go ahead.
I can give you other, he focused on tunnel and beer, but I can give you a pra, for instance. Pra at Chifupaso, and then also at Daboya. Let me take Chifupaso. In February 2021, it was 1,157, and February this year, it moves to 3,880.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, you started by talking about, for drinking water below 5, but between 80 to 150 other uses. So the 500 to 800 and the 3,000, what can it be used for?
Well, your guess is as good as mine.
Tell me, we can't use it for anything.
That's the point you are driving at. So then it means you need to do a lot in terms of treatment, to be able to bring it to the levels that you can use it for the purposes that you want to. That is the implication.
Right. Before we bring in Prof in again on the issue of our potential cross-border conflict, Mr. Amponsah, I'm interested in what the remedies are for an organization like the Water Resources Commission. When you go around, you do these measurements, you discover that the water is so polluted. Your job is to manage these water resources for Ghana. You find the pollution. You are not a law enforcement, organization. So what do you do? Who do you report it to? Do you speak to the president? And what responses have you been getting when you raise these issues?
Well, most of the information that we had and were given out, and I hope it's still being done though, is that it's basically to share the information gathered, and we do it expeditiously with the relevant security councils and agencies for action. So if we take 2017, for instance, most of the information that were given out in terms of the hotspots actually, guided the security in terms of where to go to tackle the issues. Okay, so that is one way that we were doing it. So, for instance, if we found that the stability values were going up into, I'm just giving an example, the Popraso, and especially within a particular area, we give it that information out, and then we move to address which as appropriate. So that was one of the ways that we actually use information for.
All right. So do you report it to the president? According to your act, the ownership of these water bodies are vested in him.
No, we don't report directly to the president. Of course, that's what all the acts say. Most acts say, for instance, minerals are vested in the president.
Yeah.
Forest is also vested in the president. So all natural resources are vested in the president. So that's what we do. But we manage it on his behalf or her behalf. So that is what it is. But there's a line of reporting. So that is the line that every institution or regulatory body follows.
So you report
to
the
your board,
agencies.
your ministry, and then it goes on and on and on.
Right. Yeah. So what have been the responses from the ministry? All these years positive. That you've been reporting this?
Very positive. I do know that this information that we give out are used as an appropriate. But I should say that it is a billion tax that we all are facing. And that is a fact. Right. So no matter the extent to which you try to put in efforts, you still have problems. And like Dr. Enin is saying, and which I totally agree with you, we've gotten it to a point where we have to look at the root cause. The people involved, no matter their status in society, to get it right and move on. Otherwise, it's not going to be good for us.
Yeah, I want to bring in Prof quickly before we come to Erastus in the studio, and then we'll wrap up. But Prof, so now, not only are we unable to protect our own water bodies from these eco-terrorists, but we are polluting the water bodies of our neighboring Côte d'Ivoire. Now, this is important because already we are seeing the effect of this on our cocoa. Globally, we are being told that some people are going to be rejecting our cocoa. Côte d'Ivoire is our neighbor with whom we are top cocoa producers together. So now we are putting their production at risk, their water at risk. All they have to be is a little bit more serious than us, and they'll turn around and hold us responsible. We could be possibly looking at a cross-border conflict, could we not?
Well, I mean, this is not rocket science. In all the Ivorian towns where the Bia River runs through, they've seen a dramatic reduction in their fishing, they've seen a dramatic pollution of the water, so they are now using more household incomes to purchase drinking water. They are not able to use the water for bathing, and they are not able to use the water for washing. So in terms of security analysis, and then if we use a regional security complex analysis, what it means in practice is that Côte d'Ivoire's water security cannot be dissociated from the insecurities that are arising from our activities in Ghana. Now, we know that the Ivorians, in terms of their approach to their economic security, are more focused, very calculating, and very careful, in which they locate the state at the center of what they do, backed by intelligence from France. So what we are seeing in terms of the pollution of the Bia and all other Ghanaian rivers passing through the Ivorian state is that it's only a matter of time before there will be a formal complaint. And I know that the Ivorian newspapers are picking it up. The French newspapers are already writing about it, about how gold mining in Ghana is threatening the livelihoods of Ivorian citizens. So we have a potential security problem on our hands. And because this deals with people's daily livelihoods, the Ivorian state will at a point in time need to take this up, either bilaterally or through ECOWAS. But on the Ghana side, in terms of the narratives in Ghana, we haven't elevated the problem that Galamsey is posing to us to that security level at all. We just talk and we don't do anything about it. So yes, it's only a matter of time before this becomes a wider environmental security problem between Ghana and its neighbors.
Prof, I want to say a big thank you to you and of course to Ben Amponsah for your time with us this morning. You're right, this is just going in circles. It's just going in circles. Let's take some messages. We're back after these.
The FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 is here. Excitement is in the air. You've been waiting for this, and now it's time to experience it. You could win a trip to the FIFA World Cup, plus other amazing prizes when you get and use your EcoBank Visa card. Get ready. Football lives here, wherever you are. T's and C's apply. Visit www.ecobank.com/Visa World Cup for more.
This is your last chance to make that dream travel you have been waiting for come true. So take that step with Latina Travels and Tours and join the business tour in Turkey and leisure in Dubai for all your business and leisure needs from the 1st to the 8th of November 2022. Package starts from $2,500 and includes visa, flight, accommodation, 3-meal plan, transfer and tours. To register, contact Latina Travel on 0244-260-789 or call Gifty on 0270-302-245 or visit the Sunny TV premises or Latina Travel at the Elisa Hotel, North Ridge, Accra. This advert is sponsored by Joy FM, Latina Travel, Sunny TV, Sunny FM and AGI.
If I say EGL Bazaar, say it be Bazaar. Electroland Ghana Limited is running a tech sale all you can grab bazaar. Items are a mixture of brand new, slightly used, crashed, showroom display, repaired and dented. Get up to 80% off. EGL Bazaar runs from Friday to Sunday. That is 7th, 8th and 9th October from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. Location, Coca-Cola Roundabout, Spintex. Satisfy your tech hunger with products from Nasco, Samsung, Media, Toshiba and more. Samsung television at 1,199 Ghana Cedi. Grab a Nasco top load washing machine 6 kg 1,299 Ghana Cedi. Media toaster 399 Ghana Cedi. Grab for yourself smartphones, accessories, candlelights, washing machines, fridges, ovens, gas stoves, vacuum cleaner, dispenser. Quickly jot down the numbers. Call 0242-439-437.
EGL, home of electronics and appliances.
Oktoberfest is here again. Ghana's premier 5-star hotel, Labadi Beach Hotel, brings you another exciting edition of the biggest beer festival in the world. October 1st, 2022. Performing live is the Bayern Boys Band from Germany. Catch all the fun with German traditional food and beer at the plush Labadi Beach Hotel from the 7th to the 9th of October 2022. For reservations and enquiries, call 0302-772-501 or 054-443-1213. Oktoberfest Beer Festival. Come, let's party.
Leadership, transformation, creativity, vision, ingenuity. Join us for the 5th International Advertising Association's Africa Rising Conference at the Labadi Beach Hotel on the 4th and 5th of October 2022 for 2 days of thought-provoking and insightful discussions on purpose-driven brands. Speakers include Joel Nete, World President and Chairman, International Advertising Association, Dr. Terence Sibia, Group Managing Executive, NetBank Africa Regions, Kate Cronin, Chief Brand Officer, Moderna, Thomas Costa, Founder and Creative Director, Good Advertising Agency, Sasan Saidi, Global Client Leader, Wonderman Thompson Global, Tucci Goka Ivoi, CEO, Ghana Commodity Exchange, and many more exciting speakers. Come, let's stand when it matters and live for the consumer. For registration, contact the IAA Ghana office on 0209-580-848 or Lawrence at IAAAfrica.org or Diane at IAAAfrica.org. Conference is sponsored by Google, CNN, NetBank, MTN, McDonald, Goyle, Interplast, and partnered by Brand Finance, Women in Marketing Africa. Media partners, Multimedia Group, Media General, Ghana Web, and Teats.
Coffee in your cup. Enjoy on the set.
Welcome back. It's the Super Morning Show, and today we've been talking about the Hotline documentary put together by Erastus Asare Donkor, and it's called Destruction for Gold. It continues tomorrow. This conversation continues tomorrow because this Galamsey thing, we've realized that if we don't fight it, nobody will. The people we've asked to do it have proved time and again that they can't. They can't. Nobody has been arrested since these news stories started going on. Erastus, tell us what to expect in the subsequent parts of this work.
So the second part deals with other areas that we visited. So you'll be seeing more from the hometown of the Deputy Lands Minister, Mrekuduka Dompim, the Patao Forest, the Taboom Forest, where active, irresponsible mining is going on, the nature of the River Nguyen, and other water sources that we have in there. And so you also get to see a lot more about the destruction, and then the experts who have done research in these areas concerning what it means for our soil, what it means for our water, what it means for the food on your plate. You'll be getting to see more of that.
I would have liked to say I can't wait, but really I'm dreading it. You know. But once again, as always, good work done by you and your team. Right. Listen, go to kingdomstoreonline.com. Okay, go and check out all the things you can buy from Kingdom Books and Stationery, and pay via Momo across all networks without having to set foot in any of their branches. They will deliver to your home or office in very good time. And then, of course, if you're in Accra or Tema, that delivery will be free. Terms and conditions do apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
Well, if you're an accomplished leader or an emerging leader and you desire to see great leadership on the continent, then join the Live to Lead conference for a full-day leadership event. On Friday, October 7, Live to Lead is organized by the John C. Maxwell Company live from Atlanta, Georgia, and simulcast across the globe. Theme, Leading with Integrity for the Common Good, and is delivered by world-class speakers. Speaking this day are John C. Maxwell, world-acclaimed #1 leadership expert and best-selling author. Patrick Ewa is president at Shesi University. Madam Patricia Bonai, CEO of Vodafone Ghana. Uncle Ibo White, renowned playwright. Gwyneth Addo, CEO of the Head Center. Kathleen Addy is chairperson of the NCC, and other international speakers like Patrick Lencioni and more. It's on Friday, the 7th of October 2022. Venue is virtual on the Leader Pass platform. Rate only 799 Ghana cedis. Call us on 0546 665826 or 0244012450 or visit live2leadghana.com for more information. Partners: Goldfields, Joy FM, Village of Hope, Global Share Alliance, EcoBank, Stanbic Bank, KPMG, Holland, APSA, and UBA. Live to Lead is brought to you in Ghana by CTL Ghana, Yapebi Team, and SJA Consult.
All right, now I'm sure you're wondering whose birthday it is. Well, it's always your birthday, and MTN is saying that because it's your special day, you deserve great birthday gifts, all on them. Now, on your birthday, you get up to 3 hours of free talk time and 25 free text messages to call and text all of your friends and family on MTN. That's not all. You also stand a chance of getting birthday cakes and e-vouchers to grab your own birthday gifts at some of your favorite shops and supermarkets. So, you know where all the birthday fun be. Join the biggest family in Ghana and let's chill on your special day. Kind courtesy, MTN. Please note all terms and conditions apply.
And the Ministry of Education, through the National Teaching Council, presents the Ghana Teacher Prize 2022 under the theme, The Transformation of Education Begins with Teachers. Guest of Honor President Akufo-Addo, and the most outstanding teacher goes home with a 3-bedroom apartment. First runner-up goes home with a 4x4 pickup. Second runner-up gets a salon vehicle, and the best teacher in leadership and administration gets a salon vehicle as well, with the best non-teaching staff also getting a salon vehicle. And activities, a 2-day symposium starting today and tomorrow at the Modern City Hotel in Tamale at 9 a.m. and then a Grand Deba on Wednesday, 5th October at exactly 9 a.m. at the University for Development Studies Multipurpose Hall in Tamale. Media partners, the Multimedia Group, and the events will be telecast live on the Joy News channel between 9:30 a.m. to 12 noon.
All right, now listen, go to Facebook Live, check out our images of the samples of water that Erastus has collected from 9 water bodies across the country. And of course, look out for the video version of Destruction for Gold on the Joy News channel at 8:30 p.m. tonight, okay? Thank you all so much for listening to the Super Morning Show. We're back tomorrow with even more. Have a wonderful start to your week and stay with your super station for the duration. Until we join you again tomorrow. My name is Kojo Yankson. I'm the morning man.
My name is Winston.